Hey everyone, I hope you are doing well. Today in this video I'm going to explain what is mixed DML operations error. This is commonly asked Salesforce developer interview question. So once interviewers ask you what is mixed DML operations error, they can ask you how to fix this error, how to handle it, how to avoid it, or they can ask what is the reason that Salesforce introduced mixed DML exception. So this one question can lead to a long conversation in the interviews. So stick with me. I'm going to explain all about mixed DML operations error in this video. First, what is mixed DML operations error? Now in Salesforce there are two types of object, okay, setup and non-setup. Okay, now these non-setup objects are our usual objects like custom objects or standard objects like account, contact. Okay, these are usual objects. And the setup object you won't see on the UI in the system on the front end. So some examples are like profile or user or layout. So these setup objects are dealing with metadata of the system, and non-setup objects are actually used to store the records, store the data. Okay, now when you perform the DML on these two objects together in a single transaction, then you get the mixed DML error. So mixed DML, as the name says, means you are performing DML on setup object and non-setup object together. You are inserting an account record, and in the same transaction you are inserting a user record. So Salesforce won't allow you to do this in a single transaction. So this has to be separated. The non-setup objects like account, contacts, opportunities have to be inserted or updated separately. Okay, now the next question from the interviewers will be, what is the reason that Salesforce introduced this mixed DML exception? Or they can ask how to fix it, but let's see this first. What is the reason that Salesforce introduced this? Now see, this restriction is there because some S objects affect the user's access. So if you update this type of S objects in the same transaction, then it will lead to incorrect access permissions. Okay, that's why Salesforce doesn't allow you to insert these type of records together. So suppose you insert an account A1. Now this account is only shared with suppose role 1. Okay, so after that, suppose in the same transaction, if you insert new user with that role 1, but now it is unable to find that A1 because it's not yet committed in the system, right? So this account is not yet committed to the database. So in this case, what will happen? The user that you inserted in the same transaction will not get an access of A1 account because it's not yet committed, it's not yet inserted in the database. So this user will not be able to access A1 account record. Okay, so this is the discrepancy. This is the incorrect access level permission. So to avoid these kind of situations, Salesforce throw this error. Okay, so to control all these scenarios, Salesforce throw mixed DML operations error. Okay, the third question is, if you are facing this error, how to fix it? So there are two chances. You are performing this DML either through Apex or through flow. Okay, now we will talk about Apex first. So if you are performing this type of DML, the mixed DML through Apex, then to separate these DMLs you have to use future method. Okay, so the answer is, using future method you can separate these two DMLs. So future method will run in its own transaction so that it will not interfere with the first DML. Okay, so suppose you are doing these DMLs, the mixed DMLs through flow. Okay, now what can you do in the flow? Now the easiest way to handle mixed DML error in the flow is using screen, okay, or pause element or remote action. So there are certain elements which breaks the transaction of the flow. If you know how flow works, if you have screen, so suppose flow reaches till this screen, so it has certain pending DMLs. So after reaching screen, it will commit all those pending DMLs in the database. Okay, so after screen, the new transaction will start, and then again flow will accumulate all those DMLs and pending actions to do. So flow will carry on this execution. Okay, so in this way you are performing first DML in the first transaction and the second DML after the screen in the new transaction, in the separate transaction. Okay, so this is the simplest way to avoid mixed DML error. Okay, if you can't place a screen in between two screens to avoid bad user interface, so you can call invocable method in the flow to perform the second DML operation. Okay, so this way you can handle mixed DML error. So this is the answer. So that's all about this video. I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope you learned something from these questions. You can check out my other videos. You can check out the playlist that I have on my channel for Salesforce interview preparation. So if you have liked this video, press the like button, subscribe to my channel. Thank you.